Hello, nonprofit rock stars and heroes. This is Tom Check with Greater Impact Consulting, where we help you streamline your Salesforce in your nonprofit so you can focus on what matters most, your communities. Today, we are talking about Trailhead. And if you're not familiar with Trailhead, Trailhead is Salesforce's built-in training program. It's a whole separate platform that gives you a lot of options to learn, both at a really granular setup and at a really big picture setup. So if you're brand new to Salesforce, you're going to want to use Trailhead. And if you're already really well versed in Salesforce, you're probably also going to want to use Trailhead to learn about new features that come out, or if you're struggling with setting up a specific part of Salesforce, you can go run a training and learn exactly what you need to learn on just that bit. So today we're going to walk through the basics of setting up and using Trailhead for your employees and for yourself. With that, let's go ahead and share a screen. This is trailhead.salesforce.com, and this is where you go to learn. The first time you use Trailhead, you're going to need to sign up, and that's really easy to do. You can click the orange button, you can click the sign up button. Either way, it's going to take you to a single sign-on screen. If you want to associate this with your Salesforce login, it makes it kind of easy because then you've only got one login for all your Salesforce stuff. But if you are interacting with lots of different organizations, or you just don't want your Trailhead trainings to be attached to your organization because maybe you think you might move on to a different organization down the road and you want your trainings to come with you, you can use something like Google, LinkedIn, or email to log in. Once you go ahead and set up that account, which is just going to be logging into that service, it's pretty straightforward, and then entering some basic profile information, then what you get is you get this screen, and this is going to be my actual Trailhead, so it'll look a little different because I'm in process for stuff. But you'll see that our screen starts with the badges that we are in progress of getting. If we scroll down, it has some recommendations for admin skills because I am a certified admin, and so it gives me trails and modules that it thinks I want. And then it also, if I scroll down, it shows me the in-progress trails and trail mixes. So here's some terminology that we've got in Trailhead. You've got modules. Modules are an individual learning piece. They generally take between 15 and 60 minutes to complete, and they are really focused on one specific thing. So like I've got a module here for Salesforce user basics. This one would take an hour and 5 minutes. And within here, there's these 3 separate lessons. So welcome to Salesforce, get started with Salesforce, and work with your Salesforce admin. They say that it's going to take about an hour and 5 minutes. So this is a module. And when you've got modules, they often fit into what are called trails. And a trail is a set of modules designed to give you a broader understanding of a part of Salesforce. And so if we go up here, and I go to Learn and I go to Trails. Trails are going to be really key, especially when you bring a new employee on and you're trying to get them up and running. You can learn all sorts of stuff here with a trail. So let's say I want to learn how to automate my business processes with Lightning Flow. If I click on this trail, what I'll see are that there is this module for Lightning Flow, and then that's got all these units in it. If I scroll down, here's another module about workflow migration, and it's got all of these modules, or all of these units in it. And then here's another module with these 2 units in it, and another one with 4, and another one with 5, and another one with 5. And as you go through, this module here teaches you the basics of just workflow rules, which is great. That's one system that you can do automation in Salesforce. Whereas this module is focused on introducing you to the basics of flow. The next one is a project, and you'll see this as well. A project is, instead of being a multiple choice question answer in order to complete that module, it's actually going to be an interactive where you have a built-in test, what they call playground, in order to follow along and get hands-on experience actually doing the thing that you're learning to do. And these projects are super awesome for those of us that are hands-on learners. The modules and the units themselves are really valuable, but the doing it in real life is incredibly impactful for just making it stick. So this is a trail, right? It's made up of modules, and modules are made up of units. And occasionally you'll get a module that's actually a project, and it says project on it, and that project is a hands-on set of modules that takes you through a series of experiences in order to really hone in your skills. So that's what a unit is, that's what a module is, that's what a trail is. So what's a trail mix? A trail mix is often something you're going to use when you really want to develop kind of almost like a career-worthy skill. So you can make a trail mix of all the different trails that are important to you. And sometimes they have them developed by people at Salesforce in the community. So if you wanted to get your Salesforce administrator certification, here's this trail mix. And it's got a couple of things in here. It's got some super badges. Super badges are going to be like projects on steroids. They're going to be real life kind of thrown into the mix. You should already kind of know how to do it because you've done the projects, you've gone through the trails. And the super badge is a demonstration, kind of like a test, but it's very much like a project. It's an experiential test that has certain waypoints along the way that you make sure that you're on the right course. So super badges are in a trail mix, and then you've got all these trails in the trail mix. So trail mix is kind of like the top part of a hierarchy as far as training goes, and it's going to contain a bunch of trails. All of those trails are going to contain a bunch of modules, and those modules are going to contain a bunch of units. So this is the basics of the terminology within Trailhead. So how do you actually use it day to day? Because most of us, while some of us are going for our certification, and certain, not all of us are, and what you're doing in your org, you probably more want something that's really specific, like, hey, I'm having trouble with soft credits. So what you can do, just like within Salesforce oftentimes, you can just search for what you want. And I can search for soft credit. And it's going to return all the results for anything related to soft credits. Now, keep in mind, Trailhead isn't just for nonprofits. And so all of the results are going to include stuff that's not just nonprofit specific. It's going to be also sales environment. But there are a lot of times stuff specifically for us nonprofits in the Nonprofit Success Pack. So here's some modules about donation soft credit management, and then some other things that it thinks are important to know about. The opportunity settings in Nonprofit Success Pack, these are both modules, as you can see here. So these would be a couple of units each. They would take maybe an hour or so. Then you've got trails, like this Fundraise with Nonprofit Cloud, and it's going to be made up of different modules. And then you've got all of these additional pieces, and sometimes, especially as you scroll down, they're going to start to get a little away from what you maybe originally searched for. Like this is just how to administer NPSP, which is really valuable for you as a nonprofit professional, but it's not specific to soft credits. But the search feature will get you a really long way if you want to learn how to set up engagement plans in your org. All you have to do is search, and it'll pop up all the trainings that are available for you so that you can take control of your own training and learn the things that matter most to you right now. So this is the basics of Trailhead. You'll notice as you go into Trailhead and you start to fill these out that you start getting what are called badges. And this is how Salesforce gamifies their training and makes it a little bit more fun, is they give you badges based on the modules that you complete. So if you look up in the top right corner, you'll see your name here, and you'll see that each one of these modules has a point value. And trails obviously have more points than modules because they're made up of a bunch of modules. And things like projects are worth more points than modules because they're interactive and they take more time. And super badges are often worth thousands of points because they are so immersive and so you have to have the knowledge in order to get them. So if you click on your name here and you go to Profile, what you'll see is that this is your profile page, and you can share this with people within your organization if you want to share your training progress with them. And you get this badge, right? Like, so you'll start with a lower level badge, and then as you get more of these badges, this will change from Scout to Intrepid Explorer or something like that. They've got, I think it's like 10 different levels. It'll tell you how many badges you've completed. It'll show you how many points you've got, how many trails you've completed. And then you can also see your achievements. So if you get a certification, you can see that on here. If you've got super badges, you can see them here. And then it'll also break down your skills based on all of the trainings that you've gone through. Pretty cool, right? So if you want to be able to tell your boss, you know what, I am pretty capable at this thing, and just check out my Trailblazer ID, and look, you can see that 8% of all the knowledge I've done is data management, but 26% is my CRM management, right? Or you can identify some gaps that you might have, like, ooh, app lifecycle and visual force for me are really small pieces of the pie, and I might want to go in and adjust, and do some additional trainings to bump those up if I want those skills to get better. And then down below that, you can see all the badges that you've gone through in all time. These are all your completed badges. Then down below, you've got a couple of just profile detail pages that you filled out when you first signed up. And that's your Trailblazer ID. You can also interact with the community. Salesforce they've got a really strong community. And so if you get stuck, you can go in and get help. You can also meet up with other Salesforce users in your area, sometimes specifically around nonprofit stuff, sometimes not. But you can go do that and go to events and find mentors, find jobs, all of that through this community. And then another fun thing that they do have, which I don't do often, but if you've got time, it can be really fun, is they often run quests, and very much in line with the idea of the game. Quests are ways to get real-world prizes for doing stuff in Trailhead. And so the idea here, you choose a quest, complete the challenge, and you don't always win, but you enter to have a chance to win. And you can get vouchers for certifications, you can get swag and hoodies, and all of it depends on which quest you go for, and it's all on this page. So that's the basics of Salesforce Trailhead. It's an incredible opportunity for you and your team to be able to train yourselves effectively and meaningfully in the environment that you're going to be using without having to pay a consultant to come in and teach you how to do something. So it's really awesome. I highly, highly recommend it. And that's all I've got for you today. Go sign up for Trailhead, run through a couple modules, see if you like it. And until next time, keep doing the awesome work you're doing in the communities that matter most.